So a few people were asking me to break down proper squat form for the workouts that you're doing at home. So I'm going to do that right now. A couple things with setup on squats. Feet are going to be slightly wider than hip width unless you are cued to do a narrow squat or a wider turned out squat, you know, when you're doing plies and things like that. But for our purposes today, feet slightly wider than hip width, okay? So I'm going to take it to the side so you can see the most important part of the squat, okay? So we're going to come right here. Again, my feet are slightly wider than hip width. Things to keep in mind as we stand here is I'm going to look straight forward. I'm not going to look down, okay? So looking straight forward, nice tall posture to start with, shoulders over hips, okay? So now from here, I'm going to push my weight back into my heels before I even start the movement. Lifting my toes up in my shoes is going to push the weight through my heels and keep it focused in the back of my leg. Now a squat is a compound exercise, meaning that it works multiple muscle groups in your legs. So it's going to work your hamstrings and your glutes and a little bit in your quads. But I don't want you to feel it so much in your quads, okay? We really want to try to put the focus into the back of our legs. I'm going to show you how to do that. So as we come down into our squat, again, my toes are pulled up. I'm going really slow so you can see this. Now, notice where my knees are. Okay, my knees are going to stay behind my toes. If I do look down, which I'm not going to, I'm going to keep my eyes forward, I can see my feet. I can see my laces, okay? My hips are way back. If you put a footstool behind me, I could touch it, okay? That's how far back I am. And then as I press up, I'm pushing through my heels, push through my heels, push through my heels, and then squeeze your glutes to the top. That's where you're going to get your glute activation, the most of it anyway, is on the way up, really squeezing, okay? Now let me show you what I don't want you to do. What lots of people do is push the weight through the ball of their foot, or even worse, their toes. So what happens is they come like this, okay? And they actually feel a stretch in their calves, and I've actually seen people's heels lift up, okay? So look down when you're doing it incorrectly. I can't see my feet. I can't go any further than this unless I totally bend, which is what lots of people do. So now my chest is dropped, okay? All kinds of things wrong here. And then as I push up, heck yes, I'm feeling that all in my quads, okay? So if your weight is forward and you look like this, all crunched up, that's when you're going to feel it in your quads. That's not what we want to do. Again, lift your toes, press your weight through your heels all the way down. Heels, 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 heels. That's as far down as I'm going to go. My knees are behind. I can still see my feet. And then I'm going to press through my heels on the way up. Press through your heels. Press through your heels. Keep the weight out of your toes. Squeeze the glutes at the top. That's how you're going to get that glute activation in there. Okay, so I mentioned a plie squat, so I just want to break that down really quick for you too, okay? So when they do plie squats, toes are slightly turned out, okay? So same things apply, okay? I'm going to press down through my heels, okay? Make sure that your knees are open. You don't want them to knock in, okay? So my knees are open. I can still see my feet, and I'm pushing my hips back. As I lift up, we're going to squeeze through the middle of your leg there, okay? The reason I want to show this is because I've seen a lot of people either turn their toes way too far out, and then you're feeling this like weird pull in your knees. So you really only want to turn your toes out as far as you can comfortably. You don't want to feel a twist in your knees, okay? Okay, so really quick, I also want to show you, I have a lot of people who are taking body pump classes in the gym, which I love. Take body pump classes in a gym if you can. And a lot of you doing Les Mills pump at home. So you have a set of weights that looks like this at your house, and that's awesome. But it's really easy because of the repetitive motion of that workout to injure yourself or to work the wrong muscles. So I want to kind of show you how to set up your squats here. Basically, the same things apply. Okay, so I'm going to do it forward first. My chest is going to stay lifted the whole time. The bar is nice and straight. My weight is back in my heels, all the way down, lifting my chest, keeping my eyes forward, and then pressing through my heels, and then squeezing my glutes right there at the top, okay? So from the side, it looks just like the regular squat, except there's a bar on my back. So lifting the chest, pressing my hips back as far as I can. There's the bottom of my squat, push through the heels, squeeze the glute at the top, okay? So especially with this weight on your back, it's so important not to push forward. Pushing forward makes your chest drop, and you're going to hurt your back that way, okay guys? So it's really important to use proper form. If you have any questions, or if you're still feeling it in your quads more than your glutes and hamstrings, let me know. Reach out to me. Maybe I can have you shoot a video and I can kind of watch you and give you some cues, okay? I'll talk to you soon.